Hello everyone, Dr. Polaris here, and I hope you all had a pleasant festive season. Today's episode will be another wintry one, as I'm going to be covering the famous giant Ice Age deer Megaloceros giganteus, often referred to as the Irish elk. This impressive animal was native to Eurasia during the Pleistocene, and, like the woolly mammoth, persisted into the Holocene after the last glacial period came to an end. M. giganteus was one of the largest deer species to ever live, being roughly comparable in size to modern moose. Fully grown bucks stood about 2 metres or 6 feet 7 inches tall at the shoulder, and could weigh up to 700 kilograms or 1,540 pounds. Males also possessed a pair of truly enormous branching antlers, the largest of any deer, which could reach almost 14 feet across. However, the shape and size of these antlers varied greatly by time and place, suggesting that some populations were better adapted for living in more closed forests. Does were smaller but still pretty large, with some studies finding that they averaged about 460 kilograms or 1,010 pounds. M. giganteus first definitively appeared in the fossil record during the Middle Pleistocene, roughly 450,000 years ago. While some early fragmentary material hailing from Greece and Israel may be attributable to this species, the oldest well-established remains of this giant deer were recovered from Homersfield and Hoxne in the UK, and date to before 400,000 years ago. Other early fossils of a similar date have been found in northern Germany as well, although it's currently suspected that the ancestors of Megaloceros originated outside Western Europe. Despite often being referred to as an elk, it was only distantly related to the North American wapiti, instead being far closer to the modern fallow deer genus Dama of Europe and the Middle East. This relationship has been supported by both genetic and anatomical evidence. While older paleoart often depicted this animal as essentially a scaled-up version of the living red deer, which was dubbed the Monarch of the Glen interpretation by Darren Naish, more recent studies have utilised Pleistocene European cave art in order to produce more accurate representations of M. giganteus. Although this deer was featured rather rarely in such art, images like those from Lascaux Cave in France consistently render the giant deer with a distinctive shoulder hump and an overall light-coloured coat. The back and shoulders seem to have been black, with dark stripes running down the side and flanks of the animal. M. giganteus possessed a wide range, which extended from what is now the west coast of Ireland to the area surrounding Lake Baikal in southern Siberia. Genetic testing has found that this species interbred with the closely related Cynomegaloceros of Pleistocene East and Central Asia, which was of a broadly similar size. It generally did not inhabit the more open areas of the mammoth steppe in Siberia, but seems to have instead preferred boreal steppe woodland ecosystems, which consisted of scattered forests of pine and spruce, as well as grasses and low-lying herbs. During warmer interglacial periods, M. giganteus could also be found in temperate woodland as well, with this flexibility helping the species to survive beyond the Pleistocene. In life, these were powerfully built deer, which were probably pretty fast and agile for their size. This would have helped them to evade formidable predators such as cave lions, cave hyenas, Homotherium, and eventually members of the genus Homo. A number of Paleolithic sites from northern Italy and France have demonstrated that this giant deer was hunted by Neanderthals. Extensive fossil finds from Irish bogs indicate that M. giganteus lived in segregated male and female groups for at least part of the year, which implies a polygynous social structure in which males competed for control of harems of females during the rut. The enormous antlers of bucks would have been utilised both for show and combat, as in modern deer with palmate antlers. The mesodont structure of their molar teeth indicate that M. giganteus was a mixed browser grazer that fed on a wide variety of plant matter, including grasses, low-lying shrubs, willows and pennyworts. Histological analyses have revealed that these animals reached skeletal maturity at around 6 years of age, and had lifespans of at least 19 years, which is similar to modern moose. Outside of the Irish bog fossils, remains of M. giganteus are quite rare, indicating relatively low population numbers when compared to the smaller contemporary red deer and reindeer. In addition, the range of this animal was heavily restricted by climatic conditions, with population sizes crashing during the last glacial period circa 50,000 years ago. The species seems to have vanished from northern Europe by around 23,000 years ago, but would return during the warmer bowling Alarod interstadial, which saw the re-emergence of woodland in the UK, Ireland and Denmark. However, its range would contract again at the onset of the Younger Dryas, with M. giganteus vanishing from this region by the end of the Pleistocene. Unlike many of its contemporaries, this huge deer would persist into the Holocene, albeit in greatly reduced numbers and with limited genetic diversity. It survived the longest in what is now European Russia and Western Siberia, with the youngest known remains of the animal having been recovered from the Oryol Oblast and dated to between 7,700 and 7,600 years ago. This extinction was probably triggered by further climatic changes which led to the expansion of closed forests, on top of a growing human presence in the region. Given the already limited range and low genetic diversity of Holocene M. giganteus populations, it would not have taken much pressure to push this species towards extinction. Thanks for watching, everyone. The next episode will be covering the early evolution of ceratopsians, so until then I'll see you again soon. Cheerio!